Hello.
Welcome. Today we're gonna have guests, so we're waiting for the guests to arrive. Welcome. This is live in English today with Christian, Sascha, and Indri, and we're going to talk about breathwork.
Welcome everyone.
Hi.
Just wait a bit
Hey, Steven.
so that more people can arrive. Hello, Steven.
Steven does breathwork too, but in a different way.
Cool.
Soma.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Spirit of Breath is there.
First one is there.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Coucou, Joanna. This is working.
What is this one?
Yeah, I invited him and he needs to accept it.
Oh, he was not there.
Well, he was there, so I invited him. And then, Sascha, did you see that you got an invite? Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to start soon.
Ah.
Said he joined. But
Interesting.
yeah, that's weird.
But you couldn't invite Sascha again.
No, I think he was invited before.
Okay.
Coucou.
No. I don't know why it didn't work at the first time. Hello, guys. You look amazing.
Thank you. This is the magic of the sun.
So nice to see you.
Yeah, same.
Hey, you guys look amazing. Really tan, really fresh.
Thank you. Well,
In the morning, you're not actually now.
it was about time to get some sun.
Yeah. Here now in Berlin, it gets really, really nice. The beautiful time begins now. Yeah, it's like around 10 degrees, gray.
Yeah. The gloomy days.
I'm so glad we met.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you will regret it, I guess. No.
Yeah, you will.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, welcome, Sascha. Is Indri joining on another screen, or is she with you?
I think she wanted to join with Spirit of Breath Collective.
Okay.
So I hope she will be there soon as well.
Okay, we saw her.
Yeah, but then it was not.
We are checking if we can invite her.
Not there. Okay. So I will just maybe introduce this meeting so that she has time to arrive. So here on my account, we talk about a lot of things regarding natural medicine, natural health, taking care of yourself, being empowered with your health, being empowered with your mindset, have a beautiful life on your own terms. And of course, breathwork is part of everything we love because this is so empowering. And I've discovered it myself by traveling because I haven't had that in France. I found it first, it was more in Bali and in Thailand. And I've had very blissful experiences, quite intense and quite blissful. And yes, and then I met Christian, and breathwork is part of his daily life. So of course, it's exciting to talk more about it. And the three of you are having an actuality. I don't know if you say that in English. You're having actu in French. You have like a thing at the moment, which is you're going to launch. In a few months, you will launch your school. So this is a great time to talk about breathwork, what is it exactly, and what it means to practice breathwork. What can it change in your life? So we're going to yeah, address all those topics. So this will be with Indri, which is trying to join, Sascha, which is here from Berlin, and Christian here. But we're waiting just for Indri to start. And I've been accepted her. I accepted already 3 times, but somehow it's not working.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I met her yesterday, so she's also in Berlin at the moment. Yeah, we were invited to an event here in Berlin. It's called Agape Soul Festival. It's a healing festival, and yeah, it was amazing because we were able to guide like 90 people through a breathwork journey, and it was since the last time with this amount of people was 1 year ago. So, and the energy in the room was just outstanding, and we had this friend of mine, Thomas Koch, DJT. He was providing us with some amazing music, and so we had because normally the format we do is like movement, breathwork, and sound journey, but due to the circumstances, we weren't allowed to do movement, which is a bit ironic. But another topic. And then, but so we created we started with a breathwork session. It was like 45 minutes of breathing, and then this led into a sound journey of 30 minutes, and just like being there, being surrounded by people. And we had the theme of reconnecting, and it was like first reconnecting with yourself, but then reconnecting. We did some exercise, reconnecting with the person sitting next to you, reconnecting with your family, reconnecting with nature, but especially in these times when now we're so like, everybody's so confused, and it's like, so we were building it up, and just like the energy and the love we received after the journey was just like so overwhelming. And it's like I still feel this. Yeah, there she is.
Yay! I tried to join with Spirit of Breath Collective, but it didn't work, so I just used now my account. But it works.
Nice to see you, Indri.
Welcome.
Yeah, regarding the event we had yesterday, I saw one picture from you, Indri, afterward. I could see the afterglow in your face, a big smile that you had from the event.
Yeah, it was amazing. No, it's really good.
So, I thought it would be a good thing to start with introducing yourself, each of you. So, who wants to start?
Ladies first.
Indri,
so, yeah, of course, I'd love to start. Can you hear me well? Just to check. Yes, perfect. So I'm Indri Tulusan, and I'm the founder of Breathe Into Being You, and I'm a breathwork coach and work mostly with women to help them getting out of pressure and more into pleasure, and using breathwork and coaching techniques for that. And of course, with Sascha, we've been working together for quite a while, and Christian, to all of this year actually to really create this new teacher training, creating new things with the Spirit of Breath Collective, and bringing breathwork to more people. And yesterday was really one of the first in-person live events we did together as the Spirit of Breath Collective, with a lot of people, and it just confirmed again this excitement and this being on the right path, really helping people through the simplest tool we have, breathing, to open up, to shift through some really big limiting beliefs, blocks, patterns, even in this 1-2 hour session. Today I just felt this after glow and confidence as well. This is the right path. It's really helping people. I went back to the festival today to take a session with somebody else, and people came again and just saying how they did it maybe the first time, and it really, really helped them to open up and to feel more like themselves, to feel the love, to be connected. Yeah, so yes, thanks Sascha for yesterday. It was amazing.
It's beautiful. It's also great to see that you can still do events and you can still practice your art even when time like this happens. And you are there. You are there for the people who need it the most. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, hello, my name is Sascha. I'm based here in Berlin. I got in touch with breathwork for the first time. It was in 2017. And now looking back to this event, to this breathwork session I had, it was like transformative. Like it changed my life completely. I have a background in the corporate world, and it was like from the outside, everything looked so nice, and I had a decent, easy life, but there was no really edges in my life. And so I thought by changing the city, it would change something, but then I found myself quite fast in the same routines and same everyday things I did. And so I was like, okay, then I decided to quit my job. By the time, didn't know where to go, and then I ended up in Bali. It's like this classic story.
Yes.
So, but the only thing I knew, like, I wanted to go surfing, so I had my surfboard, went there, and it was the last couple of days while I was in Bali. So, like, I started talking, and to a guy, and he said, yeah, his wife is doing something with breathing, and by that time, I had no idea. Like, I only knew like breathing or something was like when it comes to yoga or when you do apnea diving. So I thought, let's give it a try. And then the experience I had was so profound that I've never felt my emotional body, so to say, my mind, my body, like the physical body in a way so natural and so pure that I haven't experienced before. I was before, when I was trying to get in touch, for example, with my emotions, like looking back now with a different perspective, I was using substances to go there. And just by the breath, I was like, yeah, I was able to reach stages where I was thought I could never reach them. And that's when I started my journey with breathwork. Went through different teacher trainings, just came back 2 weeks ago from the Wim Hof training. So I'm now also a certified Wim Hof facilitator. Went there for 1 week and faced the ice. And there was also some profound experiences. And that's also the beauty about breathwork. It's like, it's a constant change, it's a constant movement. So you never stop learning. And that's for me also one of the most exciting things I want to bring into the training, that it's like it never stops. And so also we want to invite the students, the mentors to go on a journey with us where we all learn together and and just in a way heal ourselves and then able to heal other people.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yes, and some of you probably know me from Avec. My name is Christian. I'm here in Costa Rica right now. I'm also part of the Spirit of Breath Collective, and I'm also a coach. Breathwork I discovered around 4 years ago through Wim Hof. I saw him doing crazy breathing exercises online, and then I tried it out and actually was quite surprised by the effect it had on me. So this led me to different teachers in breathwork. This led me also to go traveling in Southeast Asia, where I also explored different breathing techniques. And then I decided to become a breathwork facilitator myself. Yeah, since then it's changing my life a lot. And then it's also changing the lives of many people that we work with, my clients or in bigger breathwork sessions. I think the interesting thing about breathwork is that we actually have the power to influence our autonomic nervous system, where so much belief are placed. So oftentimes we think, oh, we want to change a belief that is holding us back from certain things by just rationalizing it or by just using certain affirmations, but it's oftentimes way more. Oftentimes in our body, these beliefs are stored in our body, and breathwork is such a powerful tool to actually also get rid of these beliefs from the body to the top, to the mind.
Thank you. What I find amazing is that all three of you are showing that this is a vocation. It's that something happened in your life, and then you had a shift, and then you thought, I want to be of service to the world. I want to help others feel what I've experienced, because it's not so difficult. It's available, it's out there. It's just that not enough people know about it, and I want to share it. It's too good to not be shared. And this is the opposite of what we are formated to. It's like we went to school and then we had to choose a job, and choosing a job from a mental space. But you actually had beautiful experiences that made you go on the road of creating your own job. Like you put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you took techniques and then you made it your own magic. And this is exactly what the world needs. It needs more magic created by beautiful people who have changed their life, who are empowering others to do so too. So thank you so much for doing it. This is so much needed. Yes.
Yeah. And this is also where innovation is actually happening, where the disruption of some constructs that we created are actually disrupted by innovating, by combining different tools that are maybe not used before in the mainstream together to actually change.
Yeah. Sascha, you talked a bit about your experiences. Indri, do you also want to share how come breathwork changed your life?
It also, yeah, totally. I definitely also had this shift. For me, the biggest shift was when my girls were still like between under 2 years old. I've got two kids. They're already 8 and 9 now. And I was feeling really out of my center at that point, because I think it's a really big shift for women, especially whether you already lived a life of passion or not. But at that point, when you actually get kids, all the hormones change as well, and you're so focused on serving and putting yourself. It happens quite easily that you put yourself last. And I think it's also something for dads as well, but also for women, it's like so much hormonal. And you can feel very lost at that point. And breathing I tried lots of different tools. I was living in Bali at that time and already living my dream life, but still I felt really lost in this point as well. And just the breath work helped me to really go back into my center and to really feel myself again and get, it just shifts all of these insecurities you might get, your cycles of doubt and cycles of what am I doing? Am I doing this right? I don't really know where I'm going, and feeling maybe a bit disconnected from your intuition, feeling all the pressure from outside. I need to do this, I have to do that, I have to do the family first and other people first, and also working, and it just went zoom back every time I was breathing into this open heart and really into the center, also into the womb, where you feel more safe and secure and stable. And from that point, it's really clear then where you need to go next. So it really helps you, I think, to get this clarity in that, but it comes from this inner confidence. And it does this every time, but in this very, I would say more like a difficult moment in my period in my life, it really, really helped me. And now it's like an ongoing practice. Every time you have another round of self-doubt coming up, another round of maybe insecurities or challenges, you just breathe and and then you just know, okay, this is what I'm doing. Whether that is only breath work or that it's your own combination, your own magic. Like I work a lot with more like energy work as well, and also tantra and moving, going very much into your body and feeling joy and pleasure and all the challenges which come with it, all the resistance which might come with that as well. And you just create your own magic, and and it's really individual for everybody. Like Christian has his own magic, and Sascha has his own magic, and we are also always, I think, developing new things, adding new things on top of it. But we have our main thing where we just go back in there. Okay, this is really what my heart says. This is what I want to do, and then of course new things open up with that if you come from that point. No matter how much doubt sometimes comes in, or how much insecurity comes in sometimes, and yeah. So I think that is the biggest shift in breathwork, and it's continuous, I would say, because you're not always like yes I can do everything. We always have our rounds like, oh no, what am I doing? What's going on? How can I navigate through this next step in my life? And then you come back to the breath and the connection as well, creating with other people.
and you get kids. And so I guess this is also great that your kids see you breathing and that you also guide them through breathing. This is a gift for life.
Yeah, we totally do that because they're intuitive. They can still do it. So you can play with them and find different little shorter techniques. They won't do a long journey because the kids, they have short attention span. They don't need it either. But shorter things, for example, with sleeping, super important. I don't know if Sascha does that too. With sleeping, when they don't want to go to sleep and they're like really hyper and up still, and then you breathe out. You inhale with them, you fill your belly up like a balloon, and then you just hold the breath, and then you exhale, you go like letting the air out of the balloon, like and then you do this a few times with a long exhalation, which tells your body to know it's time to relax, and then they are also like switch off as well really quickly, and it works really well. Yeah.
This is great because you need nothing but presence to do breath work. And I do EFT, and I love it because I need nothing. I just need my fingers and the willingness to do it. But there are so many things that you need, like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that to feel better. But this is not sustainable because you don't have always your little thing when you need it. But the breath, you always have it. The fingers for tapping, you always have them. So I think it's so much better for autonomy. And to think about it, doing it on a daily basis when you don't need to actually have a tool for it, which is better. Yeah.
Definitely. That's also something we first, like in our sessions, but also within the training, we want to empower people to get in touch with their inner strength. And that's something like, once you found your inner strength, that's something you can transport, and while you're holding space for others. And that's the beauty about breathwork. It's like what you described. You don't need anything. And it's like, you come into a stressful situation, the first thing you can is activate is your autonomic nervous system. And the first thing you can influence with your breath is the autonomic nervous system. So if you come into a stressful situation, it's like you will learn the longer and the more you work with breath work or conscious breathing techniques, is how fast you can influence your autonomic nervous system, and how fast it like, even if you're like, when we grew up, everybody said, like, take 3 deep breaths. Like, if you would do it now, if you would take 3 deep breaths, it would, like, your whole body after the 3rd breath is like, and finding that intuition again, and listen to your breath, because everything you do in life is related to your breath. If you sleep, if you laugh, if you cry, if you have sex, whatever it is, it's always related to your breath. And once you can influence your breath, you will. And the more, it's like, because we're so disconnected with everything we do, we're like trying to run away all the time, and that's what like brings you and like, there are so many techniques out there. Like, you have somewhere maybe you need some more energy, there's some breathing techniques where it can lift you up, and then you have other breathing techniques where you get maybe more clarity, or what helps you to calm down. It's really like a powerful, magical tool we have, and we, most of the time, we're not aware of that we have it, basically. We take it for granted.
Yeah. Do you want to add something, Sascha, about the Sascha that you were before and the Sascha that you are
now? It's a good question. It's like, I would say, I mean, I always had fun in life, and it was like I said to begin with, but there was still something missing. And looking back at this time, I'm super grateful for what I was able to, because it brought me to the point where I'm at now. So everything I was doing before brought me to the person I'm now, with all the learnings. It was, looking back now, is that I'm much more in my body. I'm like, when I had some negative thoughts and negative feelings, I always tried to escape from them by using like all kinds of substances, sex, whatever, you name it. And my life was more eindimensional. So I had my work, then I had like my sport, and then I had the weekend. And that was like going on every week. So there was no really, and like I said, when there were some down moments, I was like, when somebody asked me, how do you feel? I was always feeling happy. Everything is fine. Mm-hmm. Because I don't even have the tools to open up, to communicate what's really going on. And like, from the outside, everything looked fine, but inside I was like this like fight and like this yeah, also kind of searching for something, and but also not accepting it, that something is about to change. And then at one point it was like, that's when I also said, like, when I moved to Berlin, started a new role in my new job, there was something, okay, I came to the point. It's also when I started meditating, there is no point of return now. So I have to start walking down this path. And it's still up to date. It's a roller coaster. And sometimes sitting there, looking back, life was sometimes in a way easier, because it was like, so it was just focused on me, basically. Of course, I was taking care of friends, but at the end, to be fully honest, it was just about how I feel and dealing with myself, more or less. And now I'm like more, of course, also I have a family now. This also changes, but I'm much more, I think at least that's how I receive it from other people, that I'm much more aware what's going around me. But on the other hand, it also affects me more than it used to.
You want to check?
Yes. So for me, I think there are a few things that changed for me. The first thing is that I feel like that I'm more connected to what you would probably call the intuition. Because in breathwork, I suddenly noticed that there's something that is constant in me, and it is in comparison to my thoughts not always changing. It's constantly there, but is oftentimes buried by all the thoughts, all the things that you do to distract yourself. And yeah, it showed me that there's actually more. There's like an intelligence in me that oftentimes already has a certain answer for me. So this is one thing. The other thing is that Sascha also mentioned, to be more connected with the body, to actually feel what's going on inside the body. I think before that, I was in a way quite numb. I didn't feel so much anymore. I think it has to do with all the distractions, like working, partying on the weekend, watching Netflix, doing all kinds of things to distract yourself from actually feeling. And breathwork teach me to actually feel my emotions and also to understand my emotions a bit better. Before that, I was completely dissociated from it. Which then also brought me to the intelligence of my body to actually understand, okay, how do I feel when I enter a space? What do I feel there? Sometimes I feel a bit of constriction in my body, or maybe sometimes I feel an openness in my body, and there's a reason behind it. And understanding what the reason behind it is, I think, created a lot of more clarity for me to actually navigate my way through life, make certain decisions, and so on.
Yeah. Can we talk for a second about breathwork and health? Like in terms of how it beneficiates the whole body, because I have a memory of me. So I was an insomniac. I used to not be able to sleep. And I started to meet with this naturopath, which helped people sleep. And she said I should go see a chiropractor. And this person said my diaphragm was blocked. So it helped me fix my diaphragm. And then suddenly I could feel this whole wave of relief in my body. I had no idea it was blocked. But if I had known breathwork before, I guess I could have fused my diaphragm. And sometimes we have an issue, a health issue, like not being able to sleep. And we think that we need pills or that we need something else to fix it, because we look at the symptom and we don't see the body as whole. And I wish I knew that breathwork could have helped me. Do you have stories about how your health or your client's health have improved thanks to breathwork?
For me, for example, I used to be allergic to a lot of things, to apples, raw carrots, strawberries, cherries, nuts, everything, pretty much everything. And And so when I first started doing more breath work and also pranayama, like I started that, I've been always very much in touch with my feelings. So I feel other people. But this was one thing where somehow the body was in a bit of in the stress mode. So it was overreacting to, since I was born actually, to lots of things. And with doing regular pranayama practice and then breath work, it actually stopped. I did like a 6 months of only doing yoga and breathing and pranayama. And after that, I could eat the first time a whole apple. I could only eat it cooked before. So I could just eat it and like eat the whole thing. It was just like the most amazing thing ever. And so that changed with all this combination of, because breathing helps you to put your system into this, relaxing all of this, like you said. And what happens when you relax all of this? Your whole vagus nerve, the nerve which is responsible for going into a more relaxed mode, telling your body everything, you're safe, you can relax, you can be calm, is really here. So if that is tense, it means it cannot be active, it cannot tell your body that you can be safe and relaxed. And with the breathing, that really does that. And that's also to get related with all of these allergies, because it had to just help me to breathe the stress out, or whatever I was holding in, not voicing, not saying, was more holding in these things. And now just being much more open to also face conflict, to be not afraid of voicing your truth and telling other people what you feel or what you need. And that was related to this kind of skin relaxation, and it helped with the breath work. And I've seen this as well in clients, very similar things, where they start really voicing what they need, what they feel, and therefore some of these like autoimmune reactions, they stop. Like especially what's very quick is with people who are anxious or get panic attacks, and also sleeping. So then that shifts very quickly with breathing, because the relax mode is activated. Kristen, you have something as well.
That's something that I notice in myself, like through breathing exercises. Somehow my senses are more, sensible to what's actually happening in my body. So if I first eat certain things, I'm more aware of what kind of effect it actually has. And due to this, I actually eat better, more healthy, because the senses are a bit sharpened.
That could be covered by social security.
Totally. Now for example, now I can eat everything. I can eat also nuts. That's fine. I can even eat. I don't have any more than nut allergy either. The only thing which is still bothering me sometimes is cat hair. Cat hair is the only thing, and I like them, and then they come to me and like. We should be taught that, because it would save a lot of money and time and investment in trying to fix the symptoms.
For me, also the immune system. Like I got sick very fast, very easy, and through breathing, I was really building up my immune system. Immune response was getting much more stronger, and also helping me to get more clarity and also more focus. There was also like in phases where the energy is level going down, like I use some breathing techniques that help me to get some clarity, some focus again. So that's also, like in my journey, a huge shift.
This also reminds me of last time I was at the dentist. I was trying to concentrate the whole time at my breathing, because there was a lot of pain going on, and I was more afraid to really feel the pain. But by connecting to my breath and slowing down my breath, I was actually able to also slow down my whole autonomic nervous system, and with this, it didn't seem as extreme as it was actually in my head before the appointment.
Yeah, so much good stuff.
We have so many different areas where breathing can happen.
Yeah. What made you, each of you, decide not only to use it for yourself, but to use it on other people?
For me, it was like experience it by myself. I remember when I got out of the first session, I was like, okay, everybody needs to do this. Like everybody needs to do this. And it was like funny because when I came back from Bali, I was in Berlin, and then I came back to Munich, let's say to my old life. And then I was like flushing people, you have to do breathwork, you have to do breathwork. Yeah, it's the best thing. And what happened, and most of the people like, who the fuck are you? Leave me alone. And yeah, but for me, it was like, something just was drawing me that direction, because I saw because I started doing this with family and friends, and just like seeing them, like guiding them or helping them going through a process, holding space for them, and then seeing what, like the smiles, the softness in their face and this glow. And it was like, okay, that's there's no other way. That's the only way.
Indri?
For me, it was actually the first few times I tried breathwork. It was just becoming. I was teaching yoga, and I did a coaching certificate, and was working with people, and noticed that they always get stuck on the limiting beliefs, like the same pattern coming over and over. When you recognize it, they recognize it, you reflect it back to them, and they like really feel it, and then the next time, back again, and they feel it as well, no? And we're like, okay, but we're moving forward, but in a very back and forward pace, maybe even stuck. And then I was like, okay, what else can we do where it's not so much talking as well? Because I'm also very much in my body. And then I tried breath work, because it was like just like calling. And the first few times I didn't feel anything. I was like one of the people like lying there and like, I can feel anything. It's like, I want more. What's going on? I can feel anything. And they're like, having these experiences. And then at one point it just went, and I really just, wow, it opened up, and just like, just became this really, like a really deep meditative state, but feeling super connected to everybody, and just was super natural suddenly. And then it was like, okay, this is it. I am going to teach breathwork. I'm going to do this with my clients. And then the next client who was coming for coaching and visualization, just got directly the breathwork session, and I just feel so natural. So I was really able to hold that space with them already. And then I started my training afterwards, actually, only, but it was already doing pranayama and all of these other things before, so I could hold that space. But it was also just like so clear in that moment, this is what I'm doing, and it feels like I've done this before, because we all breathe, right? We all breathe, we all know how to breathe actually, but we just have never put that attention towards it, and we have never, or normally we don't need to put this attention, this consciousness towards it, and so we don't we don't use it as a tool. It's just, our body is just showing us if we're stressed, it's just showing us that we're stressed with a shorter breath, but we're not using it the other around as a tool. But as soon as you start doing that, it's actually really easy for most people to access it as an active tool, rather than a autonomous, non-thinking about it tool. Yeah. But it was just very clear. And then also it's like telling people about it, like, wow, but luckily I was in Bali then, so most people were very receptive towards it. So quite. So I had at the beginning, I could just directly work with people with it. Because they're more receptive then. But here, of course, here in Europe, then again, people are a bit more skeptic, but everybody is curious about learning how to breathe better. Just the breathing may not come to you for the whole awareness opening and the personal development and limiting belief changes and everything, but they will come for you to just like, oh yeah, I just want to learn how to breathe, but I think I don't breathe properly. And so it's a good entry point. I think there's different entry points, but there's one very easy one in that sense. Maybe Kristen, have you had that as well?
Yeah, for sure. I'm nodding my head. Yeah, I resonate completely with it. I think this is also one reason why I want to share, because I saw that for many people who are, for example, not really interested in meditating or yoga or doing any other type of conscious practices, they were interestingly oftentimes more open to breathwork. And I guess it has to do with because they heard about breathwork, and everyone who did breathwork tells you that it's quite powerful and super interesting and surprisingly what's actually happening. And that was also my first experience, that I was quite surprised by the effectiveness of it. And if you, for example, have skeptics who come to your breathwork session and they just follow the guide on how to breathe, they will experience a shift in them, and which makes them then curious to come to the next session. And every session is somehow different, and every session you can actually learn from, which makes it also such a nice tool to work with. There's always something new, interesting happening inside of you.
I remember when we met together, you said, I want to create experiences for people so that they get to transform themselves through the experience. And I found it very beautiful because I was into talking, because I do more therapy and coaching. And so we talk. And like, what happened? And what do you want? But breathwork is just, you don't have to expose yourself so much. You have to go through the experience, and then whatever you need to know about yourself will be revealed. So this is also great to work with people who don't necessarily want to talk too much.
Yeah. This is also why we want to share it more and more, and this is also why we now started this training. It's the Spirit of Breath Collective.
And also I think the different levels that you have. At one point you have for people who are not so into the whole spiritual or deeper self-development, but they have this entry level of just wanting to breathe better. And then you have other ones who like really have lots of tools already, like, and maybe also yoga, or you know, like you have lots of other tools, but then for this very experienced in this area, for them as well, there's something in it, because you can always open up another layer, and it's going directly, it's really empowering yourself, because it's going where you need to go, because it's your own breath. It's not a substance which is like forcing and changing your shift or your mood, or you're putting you to sleep or making you more awake. It's really in you, so it doesn't go with this kind of outside force. It comes from inside. I think that's also something which really excites all three of us, to empower people in this way from inside.
What kind of qualities do you think a good breathwork facilitator needs?
I would say like create a safe space. I think that's the most important part. Like, create a safe space so that people can go into their experience, whatever they need to experience. It's I think that's the for me at least the most important thing. And maybe like put your ego somewhere in the drawer before you leave the house, so that you don't use it as a stage. So like I said, you're there to serve others, and
Yeah, and I also think totally agree with that. This holding the safe space, and maybe you think you know, at the beginning I thought, like, because I was working more with groups, so I was quite like a bit apprehensive to work one-on-one with somebody. But then with the breathing, you just grow into it, because you center yourself so much, so when you use this tool like breathing beforehand and centering yourself really much, then you become present, and then you can hold the space very easily. So, for example, because I've just grown into that through the trainings, through doing breath work, it's just, I think just this point of really just being yourself, which you learn though through breathing, because you always come back into your center, into the present moment, and you can just be there for the other person and holding them. That's very important for us being the facilitator, but you grow into that very easily, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So the three of you, you have a vision that you want to make the world breathe more. So you want to train facilitators so that you are helped by this army of facilitators that help the world, feel so much better. What happened? How come you came to create this online training?
Kristen, you were
I'm looking at you.
there was oh my, I'm losing my voice. It was like Christian and I, we know each other from Berlin. Like Christian came, he started in my breathwork sessions, then he decided to start another teacher training as well, and then we started right away. We started working. We were giving sessions in Berlin together, and then at some point, I had it in my back of my head, like for quite a while now, that I would love to start a training myself. And then I reached out to Christian and asked him if he wants to join me on that mission. And he said right away, he said yes. And so we started. It was last year in like October or something, and then we were like meeting, like in your apartment once a week, and started creating. And then at one point we said like some part is missing, and also like some part we want to transfer with the training is like polarity. And so the feminine, like honoring the feminine and the masculine. And it's like, okay, some part is missing. And then we reached out to Indri, and luckily she also said right away yes. And so ever since we are on this journey, the three of us, and that brings us here.
Yeah, that's also something that excites me so much about is this polarity we're bringing in as well, because it's something which was also a big shift for me, because I was very much more in my masculine energy, like doing, producing, getting stuff done, working, and all of this. And even then, when I had this kind of crisis when I was with the kids and everything, I still was more in this masculine mode. And with the breathwork, it always helps me to go back into the softness, into my intuition, but not just floating around, but just like really feeling, and also feeling all my feminine energy as well, and using that to lead rather than this kind of pushing on, like, get stuff done, and becoming much more aware of that through the breath work as well. And I think with the three of us as well, we can see the masculine, feminine energies in each of us. It's just a really good process to go through and to reflect with each other as well. And bringing that into the training, I think I'm very excited about that part too.
So when does it start?
It starts in November the 3rd, and it goes for 6 months. So it ends in April the 14th, if I'm correct. 14th or 13th?
13th or 14th,
yeah. Yeah. So it goes for 6 months, and then at the end we will also have a breath camp retreat where we graduate students in this training.
Where?
So this training will happen online. The retreat will probably happen close by the exact date we don't know yet. We're still figuring this out, but it will be mainly online.
Okay, maybe next year, Costa Rica. Let's see.
That sounds good to me.
So Berlin, that's easy to reach. Yeah, this is great for any European people. So it will be in the evening European time for the
Yes,
Can you
we're
tell us
going to
more?
start, and it's going to be every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Berlin time. And the first month of November, it's going to be on a weekly basis to get everybody into like their own practice, getting everybody excited about the training, energized, and creating a safe space so that we're about to, yeah, take off, let's say. And then after that, from December, it's going to be on a bi-weekly basis, so every second week, so that you have enough time to learn, to integrate, to start your own practice and start practicing with others. And yeah, along the training, we're going to have some guest speakers. They're going to use some guest speakers about trauma, about men's work, masculinity, also the feminine women's work. And also we invite all the students, like for example, a friend of mine, she also signed up for the training. She's a professional singer. And she will, for example, she will hold, like when we're in the phase with the 2-week phases, where she's going to have in between, where she's going to lead how to use your voice. Because once you're guiding a breathwork session, it's really important how you use your voice. And she's an expert. So she will have she will lead a class where she's going to teach us about how you use your voice during, or what kind of practices she has to find a stable voice during her singing. So all different nationalities coming together, and we're really excited about the training.
Is there any requirement, like to join the training? Do you have to be already helping others? Do you have to have a background as a coach, or do you take anyone who just wants to make a change in the universe?
I think everybody just feels called to make a change is welcome. I think that's also the beauty about breathwork. Like everybody's welcome. It doesn't. There's no expert or anything. It's like it's a natural thing, and then yeah. So everybody who feels called to use the power of the breath to help others and help yourself is welcome in this training.
Awesome. So after you can practice breathwork and make a living out of it. How easy is it to make a living with breathwork?
How easy it is.
You can do one-on-one, you can do groups, in person or online. You can do workshops.
You can also do like online programs, guide people through different breathing techniques. You can also have like some kind of signature program that you work in either in a group setting or in a one-on-one setting, similar to coaching. Yeah. We also have a certain structure that you guide people to get to a certain outcome. This is also something that you can do with breathwork. And this is also part of our training, this whole business module on how actually to create a business out of breathwork is part of it. Also how to, for example, design attractive package for a client that you can work with on a more on a longer basis than just one session.
Yeah, like how to be an entrepreneur, basically, like what to create.
Exactly, and of course it's creativity, right? Creativity is needed there, but there are so many different options that you can actually do.
And it's also the corporate work. Corporate world is also getting more and more interested about it, and they can work with different formats. That you can start working with companies, which is, I think, Indri, you are also like working quite a lot with companies and using.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you can choose. Sorry, I've got another microphone now. You can choose different levels where, depending on, because now what's good right now is because the last few years the breathwork is growing more and more. That people are already much more open towards it. So the market has grown so much, which is positive, because before it was more around still educating people and they were like, oh, what is this? But now it's like, oh yeah, I've heard it. I want to know more. Can I try this? So I think it's a really good point at the moment as well.
Yeah.
Because we just need more people teaching it because people are so interested in it now.
I think it's a comparable, like I would say yoga like 15, 20 years ago. Like the market is growing rapidly, of course, also like thanks to guys like Wim Hof, he brings a lot of science into the whole world of breathwork, so it takes a bit out of this like woo for some. So it's like really based on science. How does it affect your nervous system? How does it affect your whole body? How does it affect your mind? And so the potential is and also like if you see like these kind of also within fitness studios, like boutique studios, like you had like the classic gym. Then they started with yoga and everybody, or with aerobic. Everybody said, okay, aerobic now in the gym. Then they added yoga, where everybody was like, now yoga, you know? And now yoga is part of a gym. Otherwise, nobody's going. And then the next thing is the whole mindfulness part. And there's like, when you see the whole mindfulness part, breathwork is the biggest driving force in this area as well. So,
yeah. Someone is asking, how long is the breathwork session?
It depends. It can be 1 minute. It can be 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So there are different breathwork practices that you can do. One of our signature breaths is a conscious connected breath, and this is how we do facilitate. It's most often in a 40 to 60 minutes session long. But we also have shorter practices. For example, 5-minute breathing practices to calm our system down, or other techniques to actually boost our system. And this is also taking part of the training. So it's not only this conscious connected breathing, this whole 1 hour long journey that we teach people, but it's also smaller breathing practices.
Yeah, like every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, to say that the average session is between 30 minutes to an hour, 1 hour 15. I would say it's the foundation, the conscious connected breath. But also along the journey, we will teach you other breathing modalities, how you can integrate it in your like daily practice, how you can practice with others, and also how you can use it when you're holding space for others.
Gigi Nutrition asks, how can we join in November?
Yes, so we have a website. This could be a place where you look into. And on the website, you have a registration form. But on the website, obviously, you will also find a lot more information around the training. And we also give an option to actually have a call with us. So if you have any open questions or any doubts, then just write us and we can jump on a call and give you a bit more context and answer your questions. But on the website, you will find the main information. But you can also write us via Instagram, obviously. And we also have a separate account for this training, for this collective. It's called Spirit of Breath Collective. We will also link this account with this Instagram TV.
Yeah, I will tag it. And the website name?
spiritofbreathcollective.net. We will also put it into the box.
We still have 2 minutes. Sometimes it cuts, sometimes it let me continue. I have no idea why. So you want to say a final word?
Yeah, I think we all invite you if you feel called. Start this journey with us. It's I'm 100% sure you won't regret it. It's for me personally the most beautiful thing I've ever started, and the journey hasn't ended yet. It's just started. And with Christian and Indri, I'm so happy to have them with me on the journey, and we want to inspire others to join us on that journey.
Yeah, definitely. Just reach out if you have a question, if you've got some doubts or anything. Reach out, breathe with us, and then your heart is going to tell you already what's right for you right now. It's going to be easy, I think. So yeah, and we're super excited. We've got really amazing people already. No, it's the people who've signed up already now. It's going to be really, really good. Just very beautiful people.
I think you have already about 10 people registered.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. 2 months before starting.
And maybe say that we're only limited to 20 people, so we want to have a really compact training, and we have mentors who also help us. You will get to know them as well. We're going to have some Instagram interviews with them as well. So you will be supported on your journey, not only with us, but there are going to be 5 amazing mentors. So.
Do you have like an early bird prize sometimes in September, or is it already finished?
It's already finished, but if you refer to the interview today, then we'll find solutions.
Okay, you say it will come answer when you get a special something.
Yeah.
Cool, that's nice. We will see who looked at this video until the end.
To make sure.
Yeah. Cool.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having us, to giving us the
Thank
opportunity to share about our training.
Well, this is so exciting. I'm happy to be part of it by supporting you. Yeah. Thank you. All the best for you and your students. Yeah. Thank you for making magic in the world.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the sun.
Sending you some sand.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Take good care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.